Hi, welcome to the Wolf Blass Wine Tutor. I am the Wolf Blass Wine Tutor. That's where the name comes from. If you set things up properly, the two glasses in front of you, over here and over here, are the Wolf Blass Yellow Label Cabernet Sauvignon on this side and the Wolf Blass Yellow Label Shiraz right over there. If your friends are over there and over there, then that's even better. They're just gonna have to keep track of their own glasses. Now, what more could you ask for? You, me, two great glasses of wine, and you get to enjoy them both. Let's start with the Cabernet Sauvignon. A bit of background. Yellow Label Cab, it's sourced from a number of our vineyards in South Australia. Limestone Coast, Langhorne Creek, Barossa Valley, and the McLaren Vale. By blending grapes from a number of vineyards, each with its own microclimate, you can always count on a really consistent, drinkable wine year after year. So we don't worry about whether 2011 is a good year, because our winemakers make sure that every vintage is a good year. First thing I want you to do before we taste is the swirl, so we can release a bit of the aroma in the wine. Take the Cabernet here by the stem and kind of circle it around on the surface of the table up there so the wine swirls up the side of the glass, but don't get too crazy, okay? Because you might spill some, and this is, I imagine, kind of an expensive phone. Now, some people are gonna say, you should take a moment and you should see how the wine runs down the interior of the glass to see if the wine has good legs, as they call it. I say, let's get on with the tasting, shall we? I'm gonna get a glass. Let's start with the aroma, the nose. Now you get your nose right in the glass. Come on down. And you take yourself a big sniff and you let it sink in for a second. You should be getting a nice, fresh black currant fruitiness, maybe a bit of nuttiness in there. Sniff again, get right down here, take a sniff. Maybe even a hint of oak in there, okay? Now, before we taste the Cabernet, let's just compare it to the aroma of the Shiraz. So you lean over this glass now, come on down here, don't be shy, get yourself a big sniff. Now, you should be getting more of a dark plum nose in the Shiraz with maybe a bit of spice in there, okay? Now let's just see how they compare to one another. We have black currant over here, dark plum over here, maybe even a hint of fresh blueberry, okay? Nuttiness over here, spiciness over here, you getting that? Yeah, good? Okay, now could you back off a little bit, please, because you're sort of kind of crowding me. Thanks. Okay, now let's taste the Cabernet. Start with another swirl. Okay, another sniff. And now we take a little sip, and this is where the fun part starts. You get to aerate the wine to really get the flavors out. So you put your lips together like this, just like when you were a kid. Mom and Dad said you weren't allowed to do this, you know, with your milk or whatever. You just go, and you get the bubbles going inside your mouth, okay? And you let the wine swirl all over your tongue. You take another sip. I'm gonna go put this down. Take a moment for the flavors to really come through. There's that dark fruity berry flavor again, maybe a hint of cassis. And now after you swallow, you're gonna feel how the tannins spread across your tongue. The tannins are that dry feeling that you get on your tongue. And with the Cabernet, you normally feel those along the edges of your tongue. Take another sip. See if you can feel those tannins. Just give it a second. Now you notice how those flavors change as a few seconds go by? The dark fruit, the cassis flavor, maybe even a hint of mintiness. Are you getting that? It's weird, huh? Now, a bit of this is going to come with familiarity, with experience. So, I mean, if you're not getting all of the subtle flavors and aromas, don't worry about it. As long as you're not getting runway tarmac with subtle overtones of jumbo jet, it's all good to me. A lot of the nuance, it starts to become clearer when you taste the contrasting wine. So, let's move on to the Shiraz, okay? Put the Cabernet back here. Pick up this lovely Shiraz. I mean, just look at that lovely wine. You think that looks good to you? From down here, that glass is like yay big, it's awesome. Shiraz, one of the most popular varietals to come out of Australia. The French refer to this grape as the Shiraz, and yes, they are the same grapes that they grow in the Rhone region of southwestern France, but takes on a unique Aussie character growing in our vineyards along the Limestone Coast, along the Langhorne Creek. It's a warmer climate in Australia that helps our Shiraz develop that more vibrant, fruity flavor that we all know, we all love. Anyway, pick it up, swirl it around again, release those aromas. Okay, big sniff. Okay, and now this time take a good sip. Purse your lips, slurp it in there, don't worry about it. It's classy business, this stuff, okay? And now you're gonna notice a similar fruit flavor in the Shiraz, but This one is a bit more like ripe plums or dark berries, and it's a bit more spicy, okay? Take a second sip. Slurp it a bit, okay? Now you see how that comes through? Now, interesting difference here. The tannins in the Shiraz, they're softer than they are in the Cabernet, and they might actually feel like they're coming more down the center of your tongue than they were on the sides with the Cabernet. Can you feel that? Now, when we're done, you can try them back to back, and you can see if you notice the tannins working differently on your palate. Let me show you one more thing. If you really want to see how your tasting is coming along, Wolf Blass Red Label Shiraz Cabernet Sauvignon is actually a blend of the two. If you had a glass of the Red Label Shiraz Cab, say right here, imagine the fullness of flavor you would experience in this wine, which combines the flavors of these two varietals. Although with 3 glasses of wine up there, I'm probably going to get pretty nervous. Nothing personal. So there you have it. Enjoy the rest of the wine. Go ahead, show me off to your friends if you like. I'm always happy to do this again. Just make sure they're not, clumsy. Be sure and tell us what you think when you're done. You can rate these wines. You can tell us your favorites. You can even sign up for more information in the future. Enjoy.